Hello and welcome back. Welcome again, my friend. Welcome again, my friend, to class number 187. We have only 9 classes left. My God, I can't believe it. We're finally going to finish this. It's like crossing the desert. Yeah, I've never done anything so long and so hard, so difficult in my life. I never expected at this age, at my current age, to have to cross the desert again. I have crossed so many deserts in my life. Yes, I have worked so hard all my life that to work hard at this age, it's time for me to retire. It's time for me to take it easy. It's time for me to sit back and enjoy life. Yeah, it's not time for me to sit up, look at television cameras, and continue teaching the irregular verbs like I've been teaching since 1974. Yeah, but alguien lo tiene que hacer, no? Somebody has to do it. So why not me? Besides, I enjoy it. But if I keep teaching, someday I'm going to suffer a nervous breakdown. Yes. And sometimes when I think about, that someday I'm going to have to retire, I break down and cry. Yeah, I break down and cry. Caer en lágrimas, prorrumpir en lágrimas. I break down and cry. But I don't think I'm going to suffer a nervous breakdown, un ataque nervioso. I don't think I'm going to suffer a nervous breakdown, at least not before the end of this course. I have to gut it out. Gut is tripa, but gut it out means tener valor y agallas para terminar todo esto. Bien. 9 classes left, including this one. So, let's go to camera 1 and let's continue to practice a bit the important, very important phrasal verb breakdown. Please, camera number 1. All right. Well, the way things stand right now, I feel it's important to go back and review the expression, the verb, to break down. To break down. All right. My car breaks down from time to time. The last time my car broke down on me was, to tell you the truth, about 12 or 13 years ago. I haven't suffered a breakdown on the highway for years. Years. I rent cars now. I don't buy cars. I have a 4-year rental contract. And cars don't usually break down in the first 4 years of their lives. A car has a life. Well, a car has many lives. In Spanish, in the Spanish language, in the Spanish-speaking world, a cat has 7 lives. It's interesting. In the English-speaking world, or at least in the American world, a cat has 9 lives. Which means American cats or English-speaking cats, I don't know the case in Great Britain, they have 2 more lives than the Spanish-speaking cats, okay? Now, my cars have about 3 or 4 lives, if you take care of them. But the first life lasts about 4 years, or maybe about 90,000 kilometers, and then certain parts and components, piezas y componentes, certain parts and components. Fijaos, mis amigos ingenieros, fijaos, components. Certain parts and components start to break down. Empiezan a romper, a averiarse, okay? Certain parts and components, los taques, anything in the car, they start to break down. Components. For some reason, Spanish engineers say components. No, components. Start to break down. And this takes place between year 4 and year 5 or year 6. And it takes place between 90 and 120,000 kilometers. And so you need to renovate. You need to change a lot of parts in the car. And then the car has a second life until about 170 or 180,000 kilometers and kaput. The car starts to break down again because other parts and components start to break down as well. To break down. Okay, now remember, a nervous breakdown is when a person loses their cool completely. and loses touch sometimes with reality because of pressure, too much stress, too many expectations on them, and finally they break. Something in their brain, something in their mind just breaks, and they lose it. They lose it. They lose their marbles. They lose control of themselves, and that's called a nervous breakdown. And when a person suffers a nervous breakdown, sometimes that person needs to, well, of course, all of them need certain psychiatric treatment. And some people need at least a year or two to completely recover from a nervous breakdown. Often it's connected with depression. And depression has been proven by doctors to be a chemical phenomenon in the brain, not necessarily a problem with poor adaptation to the surroundings, al entorno, to your surroundings. So if a person suffers a nervous breakdown, there could be chemical reasons in their brain because of suffering that nervous breakdown. But also it could be that the stress that they suffer, the tension, the tension they suffer can provoke a faster desenlace, a faster outcome and cause that nervous breakdown. The person could be suffering a propensity to having a nervous breakdown. And if the person at the same time is exposed to stressful conditions, to a stressful environment, to stressful surroundings, then the person can suffer a serious nervous breakdown, which is connected to depression, I think. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. But nevertheless, a nervous breakdown is considered a very serious illness, a very serious problem. Okay? And then finally, breakdown is desglosar. You remember, desglósame las ventas por regiones. Break down the sales by regions. Preséntame un desglose. Give me or bring me a breakdown. I want to see the sales broken down, not only by region, but also by product line, by salesperson, and by office. Okay? Yes. I also want to see a breakdown of the inventory. I want to see the age of the inventory. I want to see how many parts and components are in the inventory for more than 30 days. I want to break down on our inventory situation. I want a breakdown of our customers in line with those who pay on time and those who always pay late. I need a breakdown. Okay? Otherwise, I'm going to suffer a nervous breakdown. All right. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello everyone, my name is Layla. Today we're going to do a review class. And to help me do this, Anna's here. Anna, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Are you ready to practice?
Yes, I am.
All right, that's what I want to hear. At home, are you ready to practice? Yeah? Okay, so the first part is a phrasal verb. You know how much we love phrasal verbs, so we have to practice them. Break down. Okay, but if we talk about figures, all right? So, can you tell me what it means? Break down.
Desglosar.
Exactly. Okay, so desglosar. Okay, so first we're going to practice with figures. All right? So, is it separable or inseparable?
Inseparable, I think. To
break them down.
It's separable, yes.
It's separable, okay? Remember, it's very important to know if it's separable or inseparable. And break down, in this case, is?
Inseparable. Separable, sorry.
It's separable, right? So you can say break them down, okay? Good. All right, so ask me if I broke the figures down.
Did you break the figures down?
Okay. What does she want to know? She wants to know if I broke the figures down, okay? Yes, I broke the figures down. Ask me if I broke them down by region.
Did you break them down by region?
Okay. What does she want to know? She wants to know if I broke them down by region, right? Okay, and the answer is yes. Okay, so I want you to answer the question. So you.
Yes, I broke them down by region.
Okay. How often do you have to break down figures?
I have to break down figures once a week.
Okay. At home, How often does Anna have to break down figures? She has to break down figures once a week. Did you break down any figures the week before last?
Yes, I broke down some figures the week before last.
Okay, good. When is the week before last?
2 weeks ago.
Okay, so not last week, but the week before that. Okay, so the week before last. All right, so what did she do the week before last?
I broke down figures.
Some figures.
Some figures.
When?
The week before last.
The whole thing one more time.
I broke down some figures the week before last.
Excellent. Okay, well done. Ask me if my job requires breaking down figures.
Does your job require?
Oh, hold on. I'm having a heart attack. Okay, she put she put an S where there shouldn't be an S. Okay, so be careful. She's going to do that one more time.
Does your job require that you break down figures?
Does your job require breaking down figures?
Okay. Does your job require breaking down figures?
Good, okay. No, my job doesn't require breaking down figures, okay? And what do we have to be careful with?
With
the auxiliary verb, okay? So when we conjugate the auxiliary verb, so does, right? The main verb stays the same. We don't touch it, right?
Okay.
Okay, good. So let's move on to the next part of the review class, and it's the way things stand. Can you tell me what this expression means? The way things stand.
The way they are, basically, right?
Exactly. Okay, so tal y como están las cosas. Okay, the way things stand. Okay, so I'll give you some sentences and I want you to translate for me. Okay? You ready? At home. Are you ready? Okay, then let's go. Tal y como están las cosas no es buena idea.
The way things stand, it's not a good idea.
Exactly. Okay, the way things stand, it's not a good idea. Okay, well done. Tal y como están las cosas, yo no iría.
The way things stand, I wouldn't go.
Exactly, okay. Tal y como están las cosas, yo que tú no iría.
The way things stand, if I were you, I wouldn't go.
Exactly, or we can say, the way things stand, I wouldn't go if I were you. Okay, so we can say it both ways, all right? So, how do you say that one more time? Si fuera tú?
If I were you.
If I were you. Okay, remember, we don't say if I was, if I were you. Okay? Well done. Tal y como están las cosas, es mejor que no te pongas enferma.
The way things stand, it's better. You'd better not get sick.
Okay, or es mejor. Okay, you'd better would be más vale que no. Okay?
So the way things stand, it's better that you don't get sick.
Exactly. It's better that you don't get sick, or it's better if you don't get sick. One more time?
The way things stand, it's better if you don't get sick.
Exactly. Okay. So, the way things stand, it's better if you don't get sick. Okay, sick or ill, remember that it's the same thing. All right, and one more. Tal y como están las cosas, no sé qué decirte.
The way things stand, I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. Okay. All right, so what is her advice? What is her advice to me? The way things stand, she doesn't know what to tell me. Okay, can you just say that sentence one more time?
The way things stand, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, the way things stand. All right, hear that link? The way things stand, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, well done. Fantastic. At home, thank you very much for being here with us, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Okay, are you ready? Let's continue. We have a lot of work to do. Let's go to camera one quickly. Okay. All right. Negative questions. ¿Por qué no vienes más a menudo? Why don't you come more often? Why don't you come more often? ¿Por qué no asistes más a clase? Why don't you attend class? Why don't you attend class more often? Okay, negative questions are very easy. Why? Verbo auxiliar. Pero el verbo auxiliar siempre negativo. Y siempre con contracción, incluso a la hora de escribir. Okay? Why isn't? No se dice why ¿Por qué no está el agua en la taza? Why isn't the water in the cup? Maria, there isn't any water in this cup. Why isn't there? ¿Por qué no hay? No se puede hacer esa pregunta sin contracción. Why is there not? Eso suena a Shakespeare de hace 4 siglos. Why isn't there any water in my cup? Huh? Why isn't there any water in my cup? It's her job to put water in my cup. It's not my job. Why isn't it my job? It's not my job. I'm the teacher. Come on, I can't do everything. Somebody has to put the water in my cup. Okay, so, negative questions. ¿Por qué no usas? Why don't you use a pencil? Why don't you? Why don't you use a pencil instead of a pen? Why aren't there more papers than only 30? All right? Why doesn't the president of the government give everybody 500 euros a month? All right? Why doesn't the finance ministry lower taxes? Why doesn't Superman wear his cape in the front instead of the back? Why isn't Mexico progressing as well as Brazil? All right? Why haven't you had time to do your homework today? Okay. Always why plus the negative, but with the contraction in the auxiliary verb. Okay. I have never been to Tahiti. Why haven't you ever been to Tahiti? By the way, Tahiti is Tahiti. It's an island in the South Pacific. Australia doesn't import kangaroo meat. No, Australia doesn't import kangaroo meat. Why doesn't Australia import kangaroo meat? Why doesn't Australia import kangaroo meat? Because Australia has a surplus, excelente, of kangaroos and obviously kangaroo meat. Yes. The Rocky Mountains aren't as high. Aren't. Contracción de are not. Aren't. Una sola sílaba, por cierto. Aren't. The Rocky Mountains aren't as high as the Himalayas. And why aren't the Rocky Mountains as high as the Himalayas? Because the Himalayas are the highest mountains in the world. All right? Maria wouldn't like to be a millionaire. Really? And why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she like to be a millionaire? Anybody wants to be a millionaire. Why wouldn't she like to be a millionaire? Because Maria thinks that money only corrupts. And so she's not interested in amassing a fortune. She's not interested in amassing a fortune. Maria? No. She's not interested in amasar, como en español. She's not interested in amassing a fortune. Well, why isn't she interested in amassing a fortune? Because she wouldn't like to be a millionaire. And why wouldn't she like to be a millionaire? Don't ask me, I have no idea. And why don't you have any idea? Because I don't know anything. And why don't you know anything? Let's not get into that again. I've never seen a UFO, un ovni. I've never seen a UFO. Piensa por la letra U, que es vocal, sin embargo es sonido Y, por eso digo a y no an. I've never seen a UFO. Really? Why haven't you ever seen a UFO? Why haven't you ever seen a UFO? Well, because I don't spend time looking up into the firmament. And why don't you spend time looking into the firmament? Because I don't have time. And why don't you have time? Because I have a lot of work to do. I never speak to my wife about financial questions. Why don't you ever speak to your wife about financial questions? Because I handle those questions and she's not interested in them. For example, Mexico doesn't, well, Mexico never, Mexico never exports. Mexico never exports gold. And why doesn't Mexico ever export gold? The Prime Minister of England never smokes in public. And why doesn't he ever smoke in public? Well, because he doesn't smoke. And why doesn't he smoke? I don't know. All right. People in Canada never visit Bolivia. No. Well, why don't people in Canada ever visit Bolivia? I don't know. And why don't you know? All right, why don't you know? Kangaroos can't fly. And why can't kangaroos fly? Because they don't have wings. Why don't they have wings? Because God didn't give them wings. And why didn't God give them wings? Don't ask me, all right? Abel didn't kill his brother Cain. Why didn't Abel kill his brother Cain? Well, because he couldn't kill him. Well, why couldn't he kill him? Because he wasn't alive. And why wasn't he alive? Because Cain killed him first. All right? My sister wasn't in Spain last year. Why wasn't she in Spain last year? Because she didn't have time to come. Why didn't she have time to come? Because she never has time for anything. She never has time for anything. Why doesn't she ever? Why doesn't she ever have time for anything? Okay, because she never has any free time. Well, why doesn't she ever have any free time? Because she's very, very busy. All right, she's very, very busy. People don't smoke in the cinema. Well, why don't people smoke in the cinema? Because they are not supposed to smoke in the cinema. Why aren't they supposed to smoke in the cinema? Because it's not allowed. Why isn't it allowed? You ask me a lot of questions. I'll tell you later after our break. Negative questions with why. The Russian Prime Minister hasn't visited Spain lately. Yeah? And why not? Why hasn't the Russian Prime Minister visited Spain lately? All right? Spain hasn't imported much olive oil in the past 6 months. Really? And why hasn't Spain imported much olive oil? Why hasn't Spain imported much olive oil in the past few months or the last 6 months? I never teach English in my pajamas. Really? And why don't you ever teach English in your pajamas? Because people would laugh at me if I came to the TV wearing my pajamas. In English, pijamas, simple plural, mis pijamas, my pajamas. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hello everyone, I'm Natasha, your teacher for this block, and to help me help you is a very, 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 very good student. Her name is Marina. How are you, Marina?
Very well, thank you. And you?
I'm great, okay? What did you do today to improve your English?
Well, I was reading a story.
Okay.
And I was listening to a song.
Okay, very good. And when you read a book or a story and a word comes up that you don't know, do you write it down somewhere else later on? Or in general, when you learn new words, how do you do,
Yeah,
what do you do to remember them?
I think the only thing to do when you really need to know the meaning of a word is to look it up.
And then later on, what do you do with that word?
Later on, to use it.
Okay, very good. You put it into context,
Yes.
right? Okay, very good. She always gives very, very, very good advice, doesn't she? Okay, as you know, at home, we're going to work on your grammar point of the day, which is negative questions, okay? So questions, not only obviously using the auxiliary, but also contracting with the negative, okay? Why isn't it there, for example, okay? We're going to practice this, but obviously we're going to practice different auxiliary verbs because in questions we have to use auxiliaries, okay? So in each of the questions that I'm asking you, we're going to be changing the auxiliary so you can gain agility, okay? Let's see if Marina's ready. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, negative questions are very, very, very important, okay? So we also want to work on the pronunciation and on contracting, on saying it as naturally as possible, okay? All right, let's start. The first one, I'm not ready yet.
Aren't you ready yet?
Oh, why?
Why?
What?
All right. Why aren't you ready yet?
Very good. One more time.
Why aren't you ready yet?
Very good. Why aren't you ready yet? Why aren't you ready yet? I never, ever, ever want to hear aren't, okay? Aren't doesn't exist. It's just one syllable. Aren't, okay? Como tía, okay? Why aren't you ready yet, okay? The next one is for you at home. I didn't break down the report. I didn't break down the report. Before you ask me the question, let's ask Marina what breakdown is.
I know the meaning.
To break down the report.
Desglosar.
Very good. One more time. Oh, no, sorry. No, actually, no. At home, I didn't break down the report. Ask me the question. Very good. Why didn't you break down the report? Why didn't you break down the report? I was going to get Marina to repeat in Spanish for some reason, but no, your Spanish is perfect. Okay, Marina, I haven't seen her recently.
Why haven't you seen her recently?
Very good. Why haven't you seen her recently? Why haven't you seen her recently? The next one is for you at home. I wasn't told about it. I wasn't told about it. Very good. Why weren't you told about it? Why weren't you told about it? Again, weren't, okay? I never, ever, ever want to hear weren't. It's just one syllable. Why weren't you told about it? Why weren't you told about it? Let's get Marina to repeat this sentence.
Why weren't you told about it?
Very good pronunciation. Okay, next one, Marina. They shouldn't have run through the red lights.
Why shouldn't they have run through the red light?
Yeah, it's a tongue twister, red light. So one more time.
Why shouldn't they have run through the red light?
Very good. Why shouldn't they have run through the red light? Why shouldn't they have run through the red light? Okay, the next one is for you at home, okay? He won't fill in the form. He won't fill in the form. Very good. Why won't he fill in the form? Why won't he fill in the form? Marina, what does fill in mean? Fill in the form. Very good. She always knows. Anything I ask her, she knows. Okay, there's glossar. She forgot for a second, but she knew it. Okay. The next one. You can't scrub the kitchen floor.
Why can't I scrub the kitchen floor?
What's scrub? Yeah,
restregar.
Restregar. Okay. Okay. So one more time.
Why can't I scrub the kitchen floor?
Very good. Why can't I scrub the kitchen floor? Why can't I scrub the kitchen floor? Okay, the next one is for Marina as well. She wouldn't go there if she knew the truth.
Why wouldn't she go there if she knew the truth?
Very good, one more time.
Why wouldn't she go there if she knew the truth?
Very good. Why wouldn't she go there if she knew the truth? Why wouldn't she go there if she knew the truth? Okay, very good. The next one is for you at home, okay? We didn't hand in the report. We didn't hand in the report. Very good. Why didn't we hand in the report? Why didn't we hand in the report? Okay, very good. Everyone's doing very well today. Okay, the next one, Marina. I haven't dealt the cards yet.
Why haven't you dealt the card yet?
The cards.
The cards.
What is to deal? Como repartir. Do you say repartir when you deal the cards, okay? So I haven't dealt the cards yet.
Why haven't you dealt the cards yet?
Very good. Why haven't you dealt the cards yet? Okay, the next one is for Marina as well, okay? He isn't in a good mood today.
Why isn't she in a good mood? Wow, okay. Why isn't he in a good mood today?
Very good. Why isn't he in a good mood today? Why isn't he in a good mood today? Marina, what is to be in a good mood?
Estar de buen humor.
Are you in a good mood?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay, the next one is for you at home, okay? You won't regret it. You won't regret it. Very good. Why won't I regret it? Why won't I regret it? Okay, very good. Okay, the next one is for Marina, okay? She shouldn't tell him off.
Why shouldn't he tell him off? Why shouldn't she tell him off?
Very good. One more time.
Why shouldn't she tell him off?
Very good. Why shouldn't she tell him off? Why shouldn't she tell him off? At home, repeat. Very good. Why shouldn't she tell him off? Marina, what is to tell someone off?
Regañar.
Very good. She knows everything. I'm so happy with Marina.
Rebuke as well.
Sorry?
Rebuke. There's a word in English.
What?
Yeah, well,
Okay,
another
doesn't
word.
matter. She'll tell me later and we'll discuss the meaning, okay? Okay, the next one is for you at home, okay? I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Very good. Why wouldn't you do that if you were me? Why wouldn't you do that if you were me? Let's get Marina to repeat this sentence.
Why wouldn't you do that if you were me?
Very good.
Okay. Why wouldn't you do that if you were me?
Very good. Okay, the next one, Marina. They don't get on well with their neighbors.
Why don't they get on well with their neighbors?
Very good. One more time.
Why don't they get on well with their neighbors?
Very good. Why don't they get on well with their neighbors? Why don't they get on well with their neighbors? What is to get on well, Marina?
Llevarse bien?
Do we get on well?
Oh, yes, very well indeed.
Yes, we do. Okay, the next one is for you at home, okay? We weren't going to go sightseeing. We weren't going to go sightseeing. Very good. Why weren't we going to go sightseeing? Why weren't we going to go sightseeing? Okay, Marina, the next one. You haven't run into her lately.
Why haven't I run into her lately?
What is to run into someone?
Encontrarse por casualidad.
Very good. I'm so happy. Anything I ask her. So, why haven't I run into her lately? Why haven't I run into her lately? Okay, thank you very much, Marina. You did a great job. You can ask me that question now. And at home, remember to study, to practice, and to review as much as possible. I'll see you next time and have a great day. Bye.
All right. Question, when was the last time you tried to kill Maria? I've never tried to kill Maria. When was the last time I forgot to change to camera 1? Well, I think, Richard, you've never forgotten to change to camera 1. Once. I forgot once. Right, Maria? Once, yeah. She's once. But it wasn't a tragedy. Well, why wasn't it a tragedy? Because tragedies don't happen in my life up to now, thank God. But let's change to camera 1, shall we? Okay, good. When was the last time Spain invaded Japan? Spain has never invaded Japan. When was the last time you saw a flying saucer? A what? A flying saucer. What's a saucer? Un plato donde pones la salsa, un platillo, platito, volante en este caso. Could you read the question? Yes, when was the last time you saw a flying saucer? Saucer. Escrito saucer, viene la palabra sauce, salsa. Salsador, literalmente, saucer. When was the last time you saw a flying saucer? I've never seen a flying saucer. When was the last time you went to a disco with Maria? Well, I've never gone to a disco with Maria. When did you last understand Russian perfectly? Oh, I've never understood Russian. I've never understood Russian perfectly. When was the last time there was a severe earthquake in Madrid? Well, probably there has never been. There's never been a severe earthquake in Madrid. When was the last time you spoke to me about the economic situation in Lithuania? I've never spoken to you, Richard, about the economic situation in Lithuania. When did you last take me to the airport? Excuse me, could you repeat the question? Well, of course. When did you last take me to the airport? Or when was the last time you took me to the airport? I've never taken you to the airport. When was the last time you took 5 aspirins at the same time? I've never taken 5 aspirins at the same time. When was the last time you ate lunch in a Bolivian restaurant? I've never eaten lunch in a Bolivian restaurant. When was the last time you ate rhinoceros meat? Carne de rinoceronte. Yeah, rhinoceros meat. When was the last time you ate a rhinoceros meat? I've never eaten rhinoceros meat. When did you last sleep with a woman from Venus? De Venecia or de Venus? From Venus, the planet, the second planet in the solar system. All right. When did you last sleep with a woman from Venus? I've never slept with a woman from Venus or from Venus. Ni uno de otro, okay? Not from Venice in Italy, nor from Venus in the solar system. When was the last time you flew from Spain to Mongolia? I've never flown from Spain to Mongolia. When did you last fly from Spain to Bolivia? I've never flown from Spain to Bolivia. When was the last time you came here on a horse? I've never come here on a horse. When did you last push me over a cliff? Cliff? What's a cliff? Un acantilado. Push me. When was the last time you pushed me over a cliff? I've never pushed you. Pushed you. La ed de push tiene un sonido de T que se enlaza con you. Pushed you. Tiu. I've never pushed you over a cliff. Or when was the last time you pushed me into, no over esta vez. When was the last time you pushed me into a swimming pool? I've never pushed you into a swimming pool. When was the last time you pushed me against the wall? Contra pared. I've never pushed you against the wall. All right? And when was the last time you drove my car? I've never driven your car. I've never driven your car. When was the last time you went to the North Pole? I've never gone to the North Pole. And when was the last time you were in Rome with Maria? I've never been in Rome with Maria. When was the last time you were in Oklahoma? I've never been to Oklahoma. When did you last say something in Swahili? I've never said anything in Swahili. And ask me when the last time was I said something. Richard, when did you last say something in Swahili? I said something in Swahili about 4 months ago. Ungawa, wabasabadu. All right, buona. Okay, Swahili. Yeah. Buona Maria. Huh? Yeah. And things like that. That's in Swahili. So I've said things in Swahili. When was the last time you broke one of these cameras? I've never broken any of these cameras. All right. When was the last time you saw a molecule with your naked eye? I've never seen a molecule with my naked eye. Con ojo desnudo se dice. With my naked eye. And when did you last think? When did you last think about the problems in Tegucigalpa? I've never thought about the problems in Tegucigalpa. When did you last teach Italian? I've never taught Italian. When did you last do something intelligent? I've never done anything intelligent. All right. When did you last make Maria's bed? Hacer la cama Maria. I've never made Maria's bed. All right. When did you last seek a political position? I've never sought a political position. When did you last say goodbye? Well, I'm saying goodbye right now, but I'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello again and welcome to the third part of today's show, today's class. My name is Richard Brown, as you know, and I'm with David today. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good stuff.
How are you keeping?
I'm fine. That's a very, very polite way of asking. ¿Qué tal estás? How are you keeping? Muy bien. I'm absolutely fine. Now, we're going to start today's show, David, with a quick look at today's 5 words.
Okay.
5 new words, which are the following. To phase in. There they are on screen. To phase in.
To introducir por fases.
Exactamente. Yeah, you can phase a new system in. You can phase a new initiative in. The next one, to qualify.
Calificar.
Good. Or clasificar.
Or clasificar.
Okay, in sporting terms, you can, for example, Spain can qualify for the World Cup. Clasificarse. Yeah? They can qualify for the European Cup final, lo que sea.
Okay.
Bien. The next one, to punch.
Golpear con el puño, dar un puñetazo.
Un puñetazo, exactly. To punch. You can punch someone. You punch someone, so you say, in the face.
Okay.
¿Ya? Y ahí empleamos normalmente el artículo, no el adjetivo posesivo. You don't punch someone in their face, you punch someone in the face. I punched him in the face. He punched me in the face.
Okay.
Y en la nariz, he punched me
Sí. On the nose.
The nose. Muy bien.
Okay.
He punched me on the nose. He punched me in the face. Okay. Good. The next one, to play a role. Well, you're familiar with that.
Yes, I am. Pero también es desempeñar un papel, ¿no?
Exactly, yeah.
Desempeñar una función en una empresa.
Exactly. You can play a role in the company, or you can play a role within a play or
in a
a
movie.
TV series, a movie, yeah. And the last one, to reconsider.
Reconsiderar.
It wasn't very difficult. Do you want to reconsider your answer?
No, I don't want to reconsider my answer.
You're right. Good.
Thank
To
you.
reconsiderar. Muy bien. Okay, now we're going to look now by means of a final review at the present perfect, okay, for the last time in this course. I'm just going to push you to the limit on your general agility, your oral agility in that structure, the present perfect, okay? I'm going to ask you questions in the past simple, and I want you to always answer in the present perfect. Un ejemplo. When was the last time you slept next to a rhinoceros, for example?
I've never slept close to a rhinoceros.
Muy bien. Okay, David has never slept close or next to a rhinoceros. Good. So I'm going to ask you ridiculous questions.
Okay, good.
All right. Para variar. I always ask ridiculous questions. Bien. David, when was the last time you ate a tree?
I've never eaten a tree.
Good. When was the last time you left the country in secret?
Okay. I've never left the country in secret.
Okay, he's never left the country in secret. Guys at home, when was the last time you forgot your bag on top of a giraffe? Your handbag. Good. So you've never forgotten your handbag on top of a giraffe. Have you ever forgotten your handbag or your bag on top of a giraffe?
No, I've never forgotten my bag on top of a giraffe.
Good. Okay. David, when was the last time you fought with Mike Tyson?
I've never fought with Mike Tyson.
Good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here.
Good, excellent. I've never fought with Mike Tyson. Good. What does Mike Tyson do when he
punches.
Muy bien, punches. Y acaba en ES, tercera persona. Why? Because it's a verb that ends in CH, okay? I punch, he punches, all right? Good. When was the last time you rang the bells of Notre Dame in Paris?
I've never rung.
Yeah.
I've never rung.
Bajando más.
Rung.
Eso es.
I've never rung the bells of Notre Dame in Paris.
Okay, good. Could be fun though.
Yeah, it could be.
Going up and down.
Yeah.
Bien. When was the last time you shot the president of Spain with a pea shooter? What's a pea shooter?
I don't know.
I don't know how you say this in Spanish. When you're with
Okay.
a P, con guisante.
Ah,
¿Cómo se
ok.
dice?
Garbanzos, una cerbatana de garbanzos.
Okay.
Cerbatana.
Cerbatana de garbanzos. There we go. A pea shooter. The most important word you will have learned, not only on this course, but in your entire life, okay? A pea shooter. Good. So when was the last time you shot the president of Spain with a pea shooter?
I've never shot the president of Spain with a pea shooter.
Good. When was the last time you ran down the Castellana starkers? Starkers means completely naked.
Okay.
Okay? En pelotas. Starkers, or naked.
I've never run.
Bajar la mandíbula.
I've never run.
Igual que con run
Yes.
de...
I've never run down the Castellana with stalkers.
No, starkers, not with starkers.
Okay,
Starkers. Starkers.
I've never run down the Castellana stalkers.
Starkers. Okay, it's S-T-A-R-K-E-R. S. Starkers.
Starkers.
He's starkers. Está en pelotas. Okay?
Okay.
Bien. So two important words today. Starkers en pelotas and pea shooter, que no me acuerdo.
Cerbatana de garbanzos.
Bien. Okay, when was the last time you spoke to your neighbor in Swahili?
I've never spoken to my neighbor in Swahili.
Muy bien. When was the last time you read the Quijote in half an hour?
I've never read the Quijote in half an hour.
Bien. When was the last time you wrote a play that was as good as any of Shakespeare's?
Sorry?
When was the last time you wrote a play that was as good as any of Shakespeare's?
Okay, I've never written a play which was as good as one from Shakespeare.
One of Shakespeare's. Okay, good.
One of Shakespeare.
Good. When was the last time you sang in a karaoke in Japanese?
I've never sang. I've
Ajá.
never sung in a karaoke in Japanese.
¿Qué significa pea shooter?
Cerbatana de garbanzos.
Bien. Okay. Bien. When was... Es que solo se me ocurren cosas raras.
Okay,
No, ahora mismo peor. Bien. When was the last time you stole a pea shooter?
I've never stolen a pea shoot.
When was the last time you went to Paris with the sole purpose of buying a pea shooter?
I've never gone or I've never been to Paris with the only goal or with the only...
With the sole aim of...
Okay, with the sole aim of buying a pea shooter.
Good. When was the last time you came here wearing only a pea shooter?
I've never come here wearing only a pea shooter.
Okay, guys.
But I'm going to do it.
Bien, yo también. Thank you very much. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Congratulations on finishing. Congratulations on finishing class number 187. We have 8 classes left. Tomorrow's class number 188. So we're almost there. We're going to make it someday. Someday we're going to reach the end, and then we have to celebrate. I'll need to know any suggestions on how we should celebrate finishing this course. It has taken a long time. A lot of effort on my part, a lot of effort on the other teacher's part, and I hope a lot of effort on your part. De tu parte, o por tu parte, on your part, on my part, on the other teacher's part, and on your part. A lot of combined effort, a lot of joint effort, a lot of mutual effort. And I hope it's paying off for you. Pagar dividendos is to pay off. I hope it's paying off for you. It's paying off for me. I'm enjoying it. See you tomorrow.